What was that? And live from... It's Saturday night.
We're not even going to be able to see who's on. Unless you tune in too on...
Oh, but then I can't play the... Do you want to do that?
Nah, I don't care.
I said we just kind of hang out and talk, and then we'll just start it.
And then we'll check at the end.
Well, yeah, and then people... Maybe we should have this conversation before.
Never. Good morning, Montevo.
Montevo. Yeah, today, Montevo, we're doing just the mantra. I'm doing the apple detox, and my energy level is going to be most affected by the mantras right now, which is actually, it makes sense. Like, my body's really sensitive, so doing the mantra is really, I can feel it a lot more. And so we're going to pick up a Kundalini practice. It worked out perfect, babe. We had, I started the apple fast, and that's going to end Sunday. So Monday, back to the deep energy. We're back to like Kundalini at the beach. But right now, this is nice to just kind of self-care and mantras and cold showers, live streams. We're doing Wahe Guru. Means I am to be in ecstasy of the indescribable wisdom. To me, that means to be so filled up when we tune in and we tap into Source, we tap into, the healers, the shamans, the masters that have all done it before in lineage, and the ones that have done it, that are doing it now, right? We all tap into the universal source mind. Yeah. So
No, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but
No, yeah.
I just wanted to say hi to Rick. Hello, Rick.
Mr. Ellie, how you doing? I loved the
Double
the
rainbow.
and the genuine the genuine love that was spilling out from you, of the excitement of seeing the double rainbow in San Diego. That was
Double rainbows mark incredible
Yes.
signs from a sign from the universe. It's the chakra system, and completely the chakra system,
chakra.
completely harmonized and balanced and reflecting one another.
Yeah,
in its
ours
opposite.
double rainbow, when we were doing a ceremony in Ojai, was
Signified the beginning of
the beginning of the journey
Of- yeah.
of Avala.
Yeah. Ooh, I got goosebumps.
And then it rained and it hailed.
All in the same
All in the
3-hour
same-
span
Yeah.
during our ceremony.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, it was
incredible.
pretty
So
intense.
yes, hello and welcome to California on your visit.
Oh yeah,
From-
you're out. Yeah, he's really close.
Yeah.
San Diego, beautiful. So today we were just focusing on doing a mantra. It's a Kundalini mantra set in Sanskrit. It's the oldest language, and they're really healing. They're not
It's the oldest language because
Yeah.
it's the language of the universe.
right.
It's the one language that wasn't human created.
Mm-hmm.
The mantras hold the vibrations and the sounds of the universe, which vibrate and hold frequencies of every single thing that's ever been created. So these mantras,
So
when
no
we
big deal.
resonate, yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. Just hold
When
it.
we resonate, with those sounds, our bodies calibrate naturally to the source that's within us.
Right. Well,
And
that's why.
so-
That's why it's when you go.
That doesn't look good.
Sorry.
Whatever you're doing
Yeah, I'm just
under the
adjusting
blanket.
my leg. Adjusting my leg. That's why when you go to a Kundalini yoga class or you hear it a mantra, it doesn't even matter if you don't understand everything. The vibrations
yes.
of the words and the sounds, the deep meaning, you still get the effect.
Yeah. Basically, it's like an inner sound bath. You're a gong. We're all gongs, right? And when we activate certain parts of ourselves, because we're vibrating on that specific frequency, then our energy is able to hold that intention, hold that energy.
Yeah, and so that's why I love to get lost in it, because a lot of times if you take an advanced Kundalini class or you're with masters, they'll do mantras for an hour. They'll just sing, and sometimes they're very difficult mantras because that's to give the ego something to work on and detach from. And that's what, even this one, the Waheguru, for me, it definitely helps remove the ego, because in the beginning you can have some judgment. What am I saying? How do I sound? What is this meaning? And all this story can be going on, and then you can just say, you know what, just enjoy the music, just feel it, and just go with it. And then all of a sudden you are in deep meditation, because you're outside of your mind, and you're almost like you're just like a body, like letting these songs spill out from your heart, and it feels uplifting, and that's why I love it. And so did you want to get started?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you just follow along. The first 3 minutes is just a meditation. So if you can find a nice place to sit down and sit cross-legged and sit your spine nice and tall, and check into your breath. Slow your heartbeat down with your breath. If you're ever having a tough time coming to the present moment, just focusing on the breath will help you get there, because it's really difficult to not be present when you are and just meditate, and then join in and let yourself go without judgment of yourself.
Can I just share one thing?
Please.
About how my hair is wrapped in a wrapped in a turban.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a pretty scientific reason that we do this.
The beards too.
Yeah, it's really interesting because when I first learned about this, it took me back to all those moments when I didn't know why they did this. Why the people who wrapped their heads did it, and all the judgments that I had. Not mean judgments, just ignorant judgments.
Right.
Like,
you don't know what it means.
I don't know what it means, and so
it can seem a religious
thing
that you're not
what
sure.
What is it?
Yeah.
Do I what is it?
Right.
And then of course it stops there. And that's the unconsciousness of it, because the consciousness of it would have been, at any moment I could have caught myself not knowing what that is, and then having an internal tightness around it, right? And go and look it up, or go and ask, right? But I never did for years and years. And then when I started this energy practice, I researched it, and I was blown away by how commonsensical like That makes so much sense. So if we are energy bodies, and we are, then every single thing about us, our physical body, emanates a certain energy. And then we have the energy doesn't stop there. I mean, you can only see how real electricity works. It doesn't, it flows. And so our energy bodies also, with intention, with consciousness, can also expand. And so everything about our systems hold energy, and our hair is a huge energy conductor.
The antenna.
It's our antenna.
And that's why a lot of the gurus and Kundalini sadhus and everything,
they don't cut their hair.
They don't cut any of their hair because it holds
energy.
A powerful energy.
It's creating a more physical expansion with, you know, and I'm not saying it's necessary, I'm just saying that it makes sense why they would do it.
Well, and that's
on an energetic level.
These days and stuff, you go into a Kundalini class, a lot of people wear beanies or you know, it's like just something to contain
the hair, because it helps to go deeper in the meditation, to have all the energy contained and focused on the inner journey.
And sometimes covering your feet,
covering our
with
feet
a blanket to keep
contain
the
that
energy,
contain
the
it.
vessel.
So yes, so we contain the energy while you're doing the energy practice, so that everything that it's just like the light bulb getting brighter and brighter. We're right now, by doing a 7-minute mantra about the infinite, indescribable joy
wisdom,
that comes from having this conscious wisdom embodied and energetically in our human experience, is indescribable joy for the soul. And so for us to play and be juiced up in that energy magnifies and like centralizes the inner light, the bulb within us. And so that,
well, yeah, because they say that these mantras too, like when you're not doing well, when you're in your denser vibration and we are in our resistances and we don't know how to get out of it, I mean, it's very powerful if you just sit and chant the mantra Waheguru, which means, you know, the indescribable, like you said, joy and experience of going from dark to light or dense to light. So it can, you know, through your throat chakra, you can, like you said, you know, ignite that bulb inside you, clear the blockages inside you, and just give yourself to the experience, you know, and have fun with it.
Yeah, and what's interesting is when you do these mantras with breath, the mantras naturally lead you to the breath work of, and it's our breath that is kind of like the fuse box, right? Our breath is like the fuse box, and we activate energy centers with our breath. And so when we breathe in, for me, had an experience where it was revealed to me that when I breathed in, I was breathing in Avala energy. That's why when I say Avala is free, that's what I mean. I mean the energy is all around us now. It used to not be that way. It used to have to be with consciousness only, but now it's just in the atmosphere, right? And so we take our conscious breath, and all we have to do is breathe in this energy. And so the first thing that happens when I go into a place of density is I stop breathing. I breathe the bare minimum, and I'm not conscious of it. And when I'm asked to do breath work, it feels really overwhelming and tiring because my ego doesn't want to be to let go. The breath makes it slippery for the ego to hang on.
Well, and then the breath on the third, you know, this is how we work. You have this fifth dimensional ethereal like vision and way of connecting it, which is beautiful. And then I'm like, and it's also healing for in this realm for any kind of habits that you want to break. Breath work is the most powerful thing I mean, you do Kundalini yoga and you know where you're at if you're a smoker, and it's going to want to drop from you if you are trying to do both. Right. So if you have any bad habits that you want to drop, focusing on the breath every day with intention and with moving this energy, it can clear and drop habits that I mean, I've had revelations because I did smoke, and I did go do Kundalini, and I had that revelation. I said, I don't want to have any more of those things because I want to breathe better. I want to, you know, be able to have expansive, strong, sustainable breath. I mean, and my ego, it's the good ego that came in because I'm in class, in Kundalini session, and there's, everybody around me, and they're holding and and their breath is powerful because they've been doing it for a long time. I was like, I want that. I want to be powerful in breath, because for me it translates to like the expansiveness of how we live our life, and that which is the real yoga, right? Yeah. The real yoga, the real breath work is how you do it in life with people that you love, with things that come up that are triggering for you. It's being able to sit in it, being able to say thank you, I love you,
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I love you. And having that Ho'oponopono, and having that as your mantra of humility and vulnerability with all the people in your life, including and especially yourself.
Thank you for doing that, Miko. Thank you for committing. Thank you for expanding. Thank you for always stepping up and stepping in. And then you said, I remember when I said that to you before, you said, I step in and then I step up. But I experience you stepping in so you can constantly be stepping up. And we all have our relationship with breath, right? Because I remember when you met me, I was asthmatic.
Yeah, you would have attacks.
Yeah, I would have asthmatic attacks, and then I would have I had that. What are they called? It's been so long. I don't even remember what they're called. The thing inhaler. Yeah. I would have to have that on the side. It's scary. It's scary to feel like there's not enough breath.
It's scary for the person that's near you too, and that wants you to I want to give you breath. I'm like, I don't know how. You're like,
but you have. Oh, you have.
Well,
because I don't have that anymore. It's totally, completely dropped.
Yeah, you haven't.
From my experience. And that's how powerful our intention is. That's how powerful our consciousness is. Because it was a really deep part of my human story. It's actually, I'm still working clearing through sinuses. I'll just go into this one story and then we can share the mantra. Because it's coming up for me. I was born premature, and
we're going way back.
Oh yeah, we're going way back. We're going back. We'll be here for a while. No, I'm just kidding.
So I was a preemie.
So I was born premature, and so the first experience of this life was in an incubator, isolated by myself, and they were allowed to touch me only through gloved hands through the tube, that type of situation. Right. And then the moment that they took me out, I got pneumonia. And the doctors told my mom that they would have to start getting ready for the funeral services because I wasn't going to make it through the night. And obviously I made it. And from that experience, from that story, I feel that I had that density inside of me, the lung capacity, couldn't receive enough breath. And maybe but there was a huge part of me that wasn't ready to receive all of the breath. So until it was that I started to do this conscious path and do this work, is when I consciously started expanding my breath. And I made that my intention. And with intention and daily energy commitment, energy practice, for many, many years. We say Miko's doing the 40-day, but that's a 40-day specific intention. It's not 40 days. This is his life, and this is my life. This is something we do every single day.
Yeah, I've always taken the cold showers and woken up for sadhana. This is just the first time it's being caught on camera. Caught on camera. Right. Energy practice caught on camera.
And yeah, so this is the first time we're doing it this way, but this expansion of breath came with my conscious work and my conscious practice, and so that's a huge thing to be able to physically overcome.
See,
that
I always,
density.
but when you tell me about that, I think of like that's also Biji, little Biji.
Thank you.
That's little
You
Biji.
caught me.
Yes.
My muffy.
That's little Biji had to fight to get out of the incubator, and ever since that fire energy has been.
I'm coming in.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in hot.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Okay. That was a story I wanted to
It's
share.
beautiful.
I wanted to share that story because it's part of me being able to share with everybody that no matter what script we wrote for our human story in this particular lifetime, if there's something that comes into you, your experience that says, no more of that, there's absolutely nothing stopping you. And no limitations, and nothing that can take away your opportunity to change that story.
Right. Well, and organically, that's kind of what our posts have been about, and the talk that I had, with Piers, and the hike is to break through. Like we all have blocks, we all have resistances, and we all meet them. It's, how long are we going to resist? How long are we going to let that fester inside us and potentially create chronic pain or physical body issues? Just because it's, like Duncan Trussell said in that podcast, we're like hoarders, carrying these old stories around with us that we don't need. And all we have to do.
If we drop one piece of garbage, it's like you don't even think that it's garbage. It's like mine, mine, all mine.
And so, right.
And we just celebrated, Miko and I, consciously. It came to us when Miko and I first met. Our second date was at the Labyrinth, and I had brought some precious stones and a Sharpie, and we wrote our intentions away from each other in our own our own personal meditation practice, and we wrote our intentions on the rock and then on the stone, and then we went through the labyrinth, which represents the metaphorical energetic pattern to our lifetime, right? And in fulfilling a spiritual goal, like our soul path. Basically, a labyrinth represents our soul path. And it's through our lifetime that our soul path is realized, right? And so we were going through the labyrinth, and we got to the center of our soul path, and we put down our intentions separately. And then on the way back down to the car, I asked Miko, what was your spiritual intention for this lifetime? And he told me, he said a Sanskrit word, which I didn't know what it meant. And then he asked me what I had written, and I said detachment. And he told me that his Sanskrit word meant detachment. So he and I wrote the exact same thing.
And have been
detaching ever since. What happened?
Somebody called, right?
I know, but I'm trying to get back, but the screen is not working.
Oh, no. Guru. It is the infinite teacher of the soul.